the historic tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Mike, you're not ready. You're not ready.
Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Malik Jackson, the 6'5" D tackle with a sack. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. The third-year back from BYU, Jamal Williams with a carry. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And Ingram holds it in. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 38-yard line.
Brandon, lest my eyes deceive me, I think they found a matchup that they're trying to exploit here, don't you? I mean, it's the second time they've gone to him here on this drive.
Yeah, opening drive. That's a tone setter, right? I think they're going to be looking his way a lot.
Yeah, and I think that the way things are going right now, they like him as a featured receiver. Let's see what kind of adjustments the defense is going to make to try and take that away.
He'll let this go for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. Last week, somehow they won. He threw all those picks, but they still won. Here, opening drive, unfortunately, he picked up where he left off.
Partner, you get a lot of extra patience when you find a way to win despite you making mistakes. But starting out again this game, that patience is going to wear thin really quick. And I think the guys on the defensive side of the ball will be the first ones to let him know that's got to stop.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. They go counter with Howard. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Let's get it. Here we go. Right here. Tight into the right, boy. Tight into the right.
Wentz off the fake handoff to Howard. Aguilar has it. It's a gain of 13 and a 1st down for Philadelphia.
A gain of 13 yards.
After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got us a turnover? We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. Here's Miles Sanders, the rookie second-rounder from Penn State. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first. Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. They try and run on first down, but this one going to lose a couple yards as they get him behind the line.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
I'm coming. Bobo's the mic. Mike's Bobo.
On 2nd and 12, Wentz trying to get it to Jackson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Blake Martinez. So a pretty shaky start here for both sides.
Yeah, each quarterback's throwing a ball to the other team. Do you think on both sidelines they're sitting them down and saying, okay, remember, this is the color jersey we're wearing. They're wearing the other color. Let's make sure we get it to our guys, please.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. He was brought down by Kamu Grugier-Hill. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10.
Get the ball. 53's the mic. 53. Check.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. He gets this to Devontae Adams. 11 yards there, first down.
It's a gain of 11. That's good for a Packers first down. 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Back for the second quarter in Green Bay. It's the Packers in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. On first down, Rodgers. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Malcolm Jenkins, the strong safety, swoops in for the sack.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Mike 27. Hey, let's get in that hole. Hey, Charlie. Check Mike 27. Check Mike 27.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down. On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Jair Alexander up to make the tackle. Play action. Now Wentz. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. 30 yards there. And, of course, the first down as well. Not really any offense for them to speak of here in this first half. Maybe that's what they needed, that big play.
Yeah, and it seems that maybe everything changes right there. They've been a little slow out of the gate. We've seen that. But that one big play, that can spark a big burst right here.
5 yards on the pickup, and it'll bring up a second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
This is Howard on second down. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. He was trying to find Deshaun Jackson that time. That'll bring up second down. It's a second down run with Sanders. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
On third down, this is Howard. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. Call it a gain of 5. Fourth down now.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the second quarter now, and we do have our first point. It's a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
And feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. They'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And this Green Bay defense making that play look a lot like the previous one. Both tackles behind the line of scrimmage. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The Eagles on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. From the gun, it's Wentz. And this is caught by Jackson. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Okay, what can't Deshaun Jackson do? Right, we know about the catches. We just saw another one there. Also gets involved in the return game, and he can break big plays like that. We've seen him do it throughout his NFL career.
We have. What are you thinking of anything in particular?
Yeah, I'm still remembering a certain Giants punter not following orders, and Deshaun Jackson made that big-time return all the way back for a game winner in that one. I still remember seeing the looks of disbelief on the...
Oh, wide open, complete. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Nelson Aguilar, his first touchdown on the year. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Elliott good with a PAT. And the lead grows to 10-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call. Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. With that field position after the return wasn't terrific. It's not a great starting field position as well.
Hey, check Mike 27. Check Mike 27. Hey, Mike 7.
Rodgers now on first down. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that's caught inside the 35. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Evan Ingram, 83 yards, as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed, and a lot of football, full half to be played. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Wentz on the draw, leaves it for Sanders. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. 2nd and 5 now. Wentz. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
At their own 23-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over.
And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Anderson Aho. And he will be brought down as time has now run out on this first half of action. So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20 and down to the 16-yard line. That good for 19 and a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Trying the right side with Howard. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. On first and goal, Howard. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. He lost 6 there on the first down play.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Now from the 9, here's second and goal. Now Howard. Down at the 2. Broke through first contact, but ultimately stopped shy of the goal line. 7 big yards on the carry there to get him within range of the goal line with third down upcoming. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Miles Sanders, his second touchdown on the season. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Second and 6 at the 35-yard line.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Come to my world. We want it. Come to my world.
They run it again with Williams. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Nigel Bradham brings him down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Rodgers going to throw. Open man right side is Ingram. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Evan Ingram with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. Crosby connects on the extra point, and they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got to the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Wentz. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's third down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Throwing his Wentz. Looking for Aguilar, and it's intercepted. Kevin King with a pick. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job. Finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
And he is taken down deep in Philadelphia territory. A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes...
And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they take over already 5 yards deep into the red zone at the 15-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes if they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback. They've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
He's not going to get me. Switch it. Come on, switch it. Switch. Hey, high down.
Again, it's Williams. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Mike 53. Stop your whining.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
6-man. Check curl.
Rodgers looking to throw on 3rd and 2. He's got Adams on the hookup. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal. Aaron Rodgers, 3 fourth-quarter comebacks last year. That's the most he's had in one season in his entire career, and he's going to need another one right now.
Mike 52 right here. Ricky.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. And he's got the connection to the tight end, Graham. Touchdown, Packers. Jimmy Graham, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as they can now even this game here in the 4th quarter with the extra point. A very important extra point there, up and good. And an important one that is, as we are all tied now early in this 4th quarter. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. This one fielded at the 5. And all deep in his own territory. He coughs up the football. And he will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Green Bay touchdown. So problems here on special teams, and it results in the scoop and the score.
They talk all the time on special teams about keeping your head on a swivel, trying to see the whole field. Hard to do when things are going that fast, bodies all over the place. You're just trying to find the right guy to align yourself with. On that play, wow.
This one fielded at the 5. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a first down. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Running with Howard. Into the secondary again. 20. That one 28 yards on the ground.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Toss play to Sproles. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, and he's in! Touchdown, Eagles! Miles Sanders, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year, as they can now even this game here in the 4th quarter with the extra point. Don't forget the extra point, it's up and good, and we are tied here in the 4th quarter. So right back to square one, tied at 28 as he kicks it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. The 2nd down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Mills. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this 1st down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They run with Howard. And an alley to run. And now running right through it. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
And And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. And this defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches.
Darren Sproles. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Darren Sproles. His first touchdown on the year. And they're able to break the tie and move out in front here in this fourth quarter. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Now after the touchdown, here's Yr1 to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, there's a little bit more caution. Williams loses the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And some room to work. And now off to the races down the right side. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and an Eagle touchdown. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room, where they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave him a comfortable lead.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a...
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Malik Jackson in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's second and a country mile. To throw, it's Rodgers. Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. A good pickup there, 18 yards as they get closer for third down. The Packers on third down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 7. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football, and the Eagles have recovered. And some space here, and that should just about do it. They return it to the end zone, sealing it with a defensive touchdown. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that, and that's what they've done all game long.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. He's going to let it fly. It's caught inside the 25. A gain of 32 that time. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Now Rodgers. No, he doesn't have it. Maybe some alligator arms there going over the middle. 3rd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. They're going to line up to go for this on 4th down. Rodgers stays on the field. Rodgers going to go on 4th down. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Eagles defense able to hold. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
And complete to Zach Ertz. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
1st down, Philadelphia.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Philadelphia, hey, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0.